Excited for you guys to be here. Excited for you all to be here. So what I want to do is I want to spend the next hour with you guys and really talk about how to, hey there, my good friend, how to really turn contracts into commissions, turn contracts into submissions. And the reason behind this is because I was really on the phone with someone just about 2 days ago, and he stated that he wasn't doing okay. And I asked him, I said, "Aren't you a lender?" I said, "Don't you own a property management company?" And he says, "Yes." And he says, "Stuff are just not happening." And I was like, man, like, it's really like how you position yourself, okay? I believe it's really how you position yourself. So there's people out there that haven't closed a deal in the last 3 months. There's people out there that are closing 10 deals a month. There's people that are out there that really haven't really like cared about what's happening with the interest rates. There are people that are happening right now at a closing table. They're at a closing table right now at 8:38 in any part of the state that they're in, you know? And what I want to do is I want to really talk to you guys about, man, like I do this. Like, so I signed two sellers today. Drop some fires in the room for me, y'all. I really did sign two sellers today. And it's really through prospecting, lead generating, but also follow up. Follow up, you know, and a lot of times we lack because we sometimes think that we're following up, but we're not following up as aggressively as we need to because we sometimes believe that we don't want to be too pushy. If that's you, that you believe that you don't want to be too pushy, drop a two in the room right now. If you think that, man, they'll get to me when they get to me, I really don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to be that salesperson, that car salesman type of person. Then that's you that I'm speaking to right now. And what I want to do is, I know people are already planning for 2026. And as we start to plan for 2026, we got to say, man, we got to do something different with our business. We got to shift our business around. We got to change what we're doing, or we got to just continue what we're doing because we're doing it so well and so effectively, you know? So, what I want us to do today is spend tonight really speaking about how to really turn the opportunity com- to contracts to commission checks. And I prepared a presentation for you guys that you guys are welcome to take pictures of. Anyone that registered here tonight is going to get the presentation because I don't want to hold it for myself. I want you all to really leave here with, maybe you're doing everything already and you're like, I kind of really didn't learn anything new. Or maybe you can implement something new into your business, you know? And what I want to do is let you guys know that off bat, this is going to be about working with sellers. So if you thought you were going to come here and you were going to learn about commercial, this ain't it. If you thought you were going to come here and you were going to learn about working with buyers, this ain't it. If you thought you were going to come here and learn about a little bit more about hometown heroes, this is not it. This is definitely not it. It's truly about how to turn contracts into commission checks by creating a pipeline. So many people struggle with creating a pipeline, and it's fixable. It's fixable. It's the activities that we're going to do right now, but you're going to implement and you're going to do them in the next 30 days. Okay. So you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
beautiful. Beautiful. All right. You guys can still see the screen?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, cool. So what we're going to be focusing on is understanding the journey from the signed listing agreement to receiving the commission checks, setting up the client's expectations, especially in the market that we're in right now. Some people are letting their listings lapse because they're not having the conversation that they need to have with the sellers. You know, let's sign a listing agreement that we set clear expectations. I was on my coaching call this morning with our top producers, and this gentleman came on the call and he had the same conversation on the call today, Wednesday, that we had on Monday. And I said, wait a minute, are you still digressing yourself over the same seller? And he's like, yes. And I said, well, we already spoke about this. They're not a realistic seller. You're going to continue to follow up with them. But what you're going to do is you're going to go and lead gen and get other business. Like, we're not sitting here going to talk about the same seller. when we have people that have 24 active listings on the market, 8 pending, 8 coming soons on the market, met with 3 people yesterday, signed 2 people today, you know what I mean? Signed a person yesterday as well. Okay, so set clear expectations with your customers, and then we're going to talk about listings, marketing, negotiations, and closings. So if you're here and you want to grow your listing rate, drop a 1 in the room real quick so I can see who we're talking to. If you're like a Kiana that's here with us at this late 8:30 night, and you got about 3 sellers you signed this week, but you want to get maybe 5 more sellers, drop a 1, thank you for that. And that's really what our focus is about. So all right. So first and foremost, we're gonna do a couple of things differently when it comes to preparing ourselves for the appointment with the seller. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna win the seller over from the time that they say yes on the phone. And what is that gonna be? That's gonna be like little trinkets to program them already to want to work with us. And a lot of times it's the trinkets that we don't do, which causes us the opportunity to lose the listing. Because what
Are
I'm
you
going
gonna
to
fix
do
that
in the
drawer?
Daigle, there's always one. It ends up being our best student at the end of the class, too. Give me a second. This is why we go into webinar mode. Give me a second, you all. If you think of someone that needs to be here right now, go ahead and send them the link. If you know of someone that needs to be here right now, go ahead and send them the link. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna win them in the beginning. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna either send them a video from our cell phones. We're gonna jump on Zoom and do a pre-recorded video. We're gonna use Loom. Loom is one of my best features that are out there. I've been using Loom for the last 5 months. I use it for my team. I also use it for my sellers now. Okay, or you're gonna use BombBomb. One of those you're gonna use, and you're going to basically win the seller over. So what are you going to do? You're going to set them up in the mindset for what is happening, okay? So this is what the Loom appointment's going to look like. It's going to say, "Hey Jessica, it's Sam. So glad that we were able to confirm our appointment for Thursday, August 28th at 10 o'clock in the morning. I look forward to seeing you." Okay, what I want to do is I want to discuss with you real quick over this video. What are we going to be speaking about when I come out? Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to provide to them maybe the comparables, maybe a synopsis of your marketing plan, maybe a background of who you are, maybe all of this. Okay. You're going to spend 2 to 3 minutes doing this on a video. Okay. So once again, those sites was Loom. I actually have them in the back of this presentation here today, but it's going to be Loom. It's going to be right through Zoom. If you have a Zoom account that you're paying for, you may utilize it. It's going to be BombBomb. Or you're like, Jeff, man, I just got my license. I ain't know these MLS fees was these MLS fees, and I'm just going to utilize my cell phone. I'm going to utilize my cell phone. If they have an iPhone or an Android, you're going to turn it into a link. You're going to turn it into a link. And by the link, you're going to take that link and you're going to send it to them because you want to make sure that the file size is not too big. You want to make sure that it doesn't get sent on your side, but it doesn't get sent on their side. You're going to make sure that they get that video, okay? Because that video is going to be your precursor, okay? Okay, if you were here last year, I probably told you to send them your link tree, okay? But guess what? Video is it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're sending video now, okay? So that video, you may say, Jeff, why am I sending them the comps? You're sending them the comps because they're probably meeting with agents already that are going to be going over the same exact comps, or you're probably sending them the comps because they have a realization in their mind that you have to bring them to reality of. Okay. We're discussing the comps in 2025 in this market that we're in, rather you're in Florida, Texas, Orlando, Atlanta, any market. I saw the conference that took place this weekend, which was Invest Fest, and I heard even Kiana Watson or Kiana Charte, I think it is, whatever it is now, talk about It's a buyer's market in Atlanta. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not just battling that issue right here in South Florida, where I'm at right now. We're battling this issue across the world. Yes, California has price reductions that are happening right now. And what are you going to do is you're going to set the expectation, because what do you want to do? You don't want to be 6, 7 months now. You're talking to the seller about the price issue that you already knew was an issue from the day you signed the listing. So we're going to discuss the comps in advance. Okay. We're going to take the comps and we're going to break it down. Okay. So what does this mean? This means 123 is Main Street. Hey, some of the comps I'm going to be discussing with you today are going to be the following: 123 Main Street. This was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. It closed just about 2 days ago. It closed for 600,000. Okay. You're not really putting in your input. You're just giving them the information, because what you wanted the information to do is you want it to pretty much sink into their mind the first couple of hours before you meet them, or the first 24 hours or 48 hours that you need to meet with them. Okay. You're sinking this information into their mind so that they're already privy to it. Or guess what? They were scheduled to meet with John an hour before you, and John's showing them the same exact comps that you showed them, and they had the opportunity to look at them through their phone or through their computer. Okay. Next property, 234 Main Street. This was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. This house was on the water and also had a pool. This sold for 750. Okay. You're giving them all of that information. You're giving them all of that information. Then what you're going to do is you're now going to preview your competition. Oh my gosh, Jeff, where am I going to find the time to do this? You're not showing properties to buyers. That's where you're going to find the time to do this. Okay. So you're going to preview your opportunities that happen to be your competition. What is your competition? Your competition is every other home that is actively going on the market. Okay. So let's say, for example, today I'm going to list 123 Main Street, right? But guess what? Right down the block, there's another property on the market. Right down the block, there's another property on the market. Right down the block, there's another property on the market. I'm going to either schedule a showing to see those homes maybe a couple of hours before my listing appointment, or I'm going to try to drive by. I'm going to study them through the MLS, and I'm going to get alerted on what those houses are. So what happens now is I'm going to have my notes when I meet with Jessica, right? And I'm going to say, hey, these are your competitors: 123 Main Street, 234 Main Street, 456 Main Street. I was so thrilled that I was able to actually schedule an opportunity to preview this home. And these were my findings of these properties. What does this show the seller, you guys? It shows them that you've already doing the research. You already know what to do. You're already the market expert. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I haven't closed any homes in this area before. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I never had a listing before. Who cares about that? You know the area best than the person that actually has active listings in the area, because guess what? He has 15 listings and he's not driving around learning every single other house. Hello. Exactly. I heard proactive. I love it. You are being proactive. Okay. You're also inviting the sellers to look at the homes as well. I literally signed a guy. It was late at night around this time. His name is Victor. Okay. We're still working to get his house on the market. It's an estate sale. We got to get a sister involved. But this became an aha moment to me, you all, ladies and gentlemen, when the seller did it to me. And then I started realizing that other sellers were doing it to me too. And I said, wait a minute, let me flip the script. Instead of the sellers telling me about the properties that are on the market, let me tell them about the properties on the market. So this guy named Victor, I ended up meeting him on like a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock appointment. He talks to me about his house. And then he says, let me show you the houses in the area. And I said, great, let's get in my car. Show them to me. He starts showing me this comp, that comp, this comp, that comp, this comp, that comp, and he knows everything about the area. I said, wait a minute. For sale by owner. This is exactly why you don't see no need of realtors. This is exactly why. And I'm taking notes. I'm a student at this time, y'all. I am surrendering, as scripture says. And I am a student at this time, y'all, and I'm learning the information, because as I learn the information, I can be a better messenger on getting his property sold. Okay. And then I leave his appointment, and then I get another guy down the block from my house, and he's about to build 2 new townhomes. And he says, get in the car with me. I want to show you what's happening. And I said, wait a minute. This just happened to me a week ago. All right, show me. Show me what's going on in the area. Once again, I'm a student. I'm learning, you know? And I said, man, this happened to me twice in 1 week. What is the sign that God's sending me over here now, you know? So now I now want to implement this into my presentation. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, do you have an opportunity so I can go show you who your exact competitors are if you can get in the car with me? So you know that when Bob and his realtor comes and sees your home, they know exactly what other homes that they're going to be looking at to make a decision on where they're going to be moving their family to. Okay. The seller either is going to want to drive with you in the car or they're going to want to drive themselves. Either way. So you schedule 1, 2 houses that are in the area so they know the competition. This is what's going to help you guys right now in this market to not overprice. They're going to walk into the property and then they're going to say, that house doesn't look too good. I'm going to say, yeah, they're asking 750 for that house. And guess what? It's been on the market for 65 days. What do you think about that? They're going to say that's a long time. And I'll be like, yeah. Okay. I'm not presenting at this time, you all. We're not presenting at this time. We're feeding them information. Okay. So, because guess what? We still haven't sat down at their house yet. We still haven't gone through the presentation yet. Okay.
Let me read you the scripture on why I
I
would
am giving them the information so that when they do get ready to sit down with me, when they do get ready to sit down with me, they're now able to say, wait a minute, you're right. We can't list it at 750. These houses are not selling. They've been on the market for 65 days. What are we going to do? We're going to price your house aggressively because you told me that you wanted to be in Chicago in the next 30 days, right? So, looking at the two competitions, watching the video that I sent you, you saw what closed, you saw the days on market there. You're now able to understand exactly where we need to aggressively price your home, right? And if it's a husband and wife, if it's two partners, whatever it is, you're able to really articulate your message to let them to truly understand where do you have to go when it comes to pricing. Okay. Okay. Obviously, you want to dress the part. You want to look as professional that you want to look. You want to never underdress. So what do I mean by that? I mean, like, understand who your clientele is. Understand who your customer is. Okay. Is your customer a attorney? Is your customer a high profile client? Is your customer a person that is basically living paycheck to paycheck? Is your person a distressed seller? Is your person two lovebirds that just got engaged and they're buying their first property or selling their first home? Go research your customers because they're researching you. Go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, go to Twitter, go to whichever account. Learn who you're about to meet because it's going to set the trends of how do you need to present to this person. You're going to find out if they're a D, you're going to find out they're an I, you're going to find out they're an S, you're going to find out they're a C right through their social media because of the way they operate. Now, if this person doesn't have a social media, this is automatically telling me that this person is either an S or a C type of personality because they don't like social media. Okay. If this person's a high profile person, an attorney or something, okay, their time is very valuable. They probably know other realtors in the industry. They probably have already made up their mind on who they're going to work with. They're following 15 other realtors. So now I know who the other 15 other realtors are. One of the one things that I hate, let me just say it, I'm truly just say it, is that when I go to one of my clients' like social media account and I'm like, man, why are you following John for? What y'all got going on? And I'm like, man, how does he know John? And I'm like just wondering. And then I start digging some more. I start digging because I want to know. I want to know. The deal may not work with me one day, and John's right up, waiting for his opportunity, waiting for that swing. I got to do my research because I want to make sure that if they're a D personality, that I'm coming in there understanding that I'm going to have to sit down, I'm going to have to listen to them, they're going to have to be in control, and I'm going to have to be basically say yes, 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 yes. Okay, study the person. So that's what I mean when I say dress the part, but don't underdress. Okay. One of the one things that I've learned being in this east side of town, I live in Fort Lauderdale for those of you guys that don't know. And a lot of times I get asked, as I move into a higher price point within my business, people always say, how do you deal with those customers? And I'm like, they're not really as bad as you think they are. They really just want you to know your stuff, get your job done, and don't bother them. Okay. And how can I prove a prime example today? One of our customers, we have his house on the market for 1.4 right now. He's like sending me a picture of like the cut in his foot because he just had knee surgery. Sir, I do not need to know you had knee surgery, number one. Number two, you do not need to send me the big old scar you have in your foot. But guess what? These people are so chill, man. But they want to just know that they can trust you to get them to the finish line, and that's getting their property so hassle free. Okay. So, what does that mean? That means like I got to know who I'm working with on the other side. And some customers may not be my clientele, and I got to be okay with that. Okay.
Proximity is power, and the TREM program is the best real estate investment that I've done in my career thus far. I am so happy to be trained and get gems every day to improve as a top producing agent.
So, creating emotions, connections. So, kind of like spoken about that earlier today, okay, asking them questions. What sold them on the property? Why did you move here? Okay, what did they like about the property? If they were to invest into the home, take a screenshot of this, by the way. If they were to invest into the home, what would those investments be? Okay, what made them buy this property versus the other property? How did they feel about the area? And Mr. Seller, the reason I'm asking you these questions is because when I go to put your house on the market, I want to make sure I sell every single feature that you're telling me about. What am I doing, ladies and gentlemen, is I am already taking possession of the listing that they have not even told me yes for yes. Okay? It's a psychological movement that I'm doing. Okay? I am claiming something that automatically belongs to me by asking these questions and letting them know what is my reasoning behind asking these questions that I'm asking right now. Okay? This was a seller. What sold you on the property? Oh, it was a family home. Great. One things that my company and I are going to do is make sure that we showcase your property to families that are relocating in the area. My database actually has families that are kind of like renting right now. And due to the great program that's out there that's called Hometown Heroes, it's actually bringing families an opportunity to now purchase a property. If you're in Florida, Hometown Heroes is now an opportunity to now purchase properties. And what I want to do is I want to make sure I use all the highlighted features that you've told me today to now showcase it to the buyers. Okay. Okay. Now, what do? I claim the listing already. This is what we're speaking about, right? Okay. So, what are we doing? Either if we use a lockbox, a super box, or we don't use a lockbox or a super box, one of the one things that we truly want to do is we want to make sure that we bring it with us. It's a mindset thing. We're going to bring it with us when we get out of the car, and we're going to show that we're already ready for business. One thing that's going to happen, number one is going to happen is the seller's going to say, oh, we don't want a lockbox on our home. You're going to say, great. I actually provide the opportunity for my sellers to decide if they want a lockbox on their property for easier access or do they want me to personally show the home. Okay. Number two, what it's going to show is that you're already ready to go to work, meaning they're going to sign with you today. You're going to activate the lockbox and you're going to prepare the home to go on the market. Okay. So why do I believe dropping the material off in the dining room is also we believe you always set the tone. One of the one things, regardless of which personality you're dealing with, whether it be a D or a C or I or a S, you want to set the tone of that you're the authority and you kind of know what you're doing. So what do is you always position yourself to go to the dining room first. Okay. That's where you're gonna host your meeting at. You're gonna host the meeting at the dining room table because it's an uncomfortable place for the seller because it's not a lounging place for them. They're not used to being there unless they're serving dinner or eating dinner or having people over. Okay. So now a lot of times you'll notice that they'll probably bring you outside. They'll probably bring you to their living room. They'll probably bring you to their kitchen. But you want this appointment to be as formal as it can be. Okay. And by doing that, you're going to be able to articulate the best presentation that you possibly can by presenting it at an area of where they're uncomfortable at. Okay. So when it comes to marketing, you need to go ahead and you need to put your marketing plan together. Everyone's marketing plan should tailor to what they services that they offer. So whatever services that you offer, you need to get that in a marketing plan, okay? So what does your marketing plan look like? We take professional photos, we do phone calls, we do postcards, we do canvassing, we do open houses, we do brokers opens, okay? Mr. Sully, this is our marketing plan that we actually tailored to your home to get it sold. We have an international database, okay? We do door knocking and exposures, we do email blasts, okay? Do you use Trello? Okay. Trello is a system that we use to, it's a checklist. So my Trello is basically prepared as pre-listing, active listing, closed listing. Great question. I'm actually just got into that. And then closed listing. Okay. It's like a Monday.com. You can make it into like, you can use notes. If you're not into high tech stuff, you can use Notion is another one that you can utilize. It just keeps you organized. Okay, we happen to use Trello, my team and I, so that we can keep checklists of where we're at, where do we need to go, what's pending, what needs to be taken care of. Okay, and we speak to the seller about that. We created a checklist. So let's say, for example, we got to fix the roof, we got to replace the AC, we got to paint the house. That's all going on the checklist. Okay, we're hosting open houses, that's going on the checklist. Okay, so all of that is the checklist that we're creating so we can make sure that we maximize the exposure of your home. In addition to that, one of the notes that you don't see here is we're asking the seller, what is it that they're looking for? What is it that you're looking for out of an agent? Okay, go ahead and grab a picture of that.
My name is Dershan Burke, and I'm with the Library Realty Group. I wanted to share my journey with the TREM Coaching Program that I joined this year with Coach Jeff. This program has really been amazing and helped me to elevate my real estate career to the next level. The benefits that I have received through role playing real life scenarios have helped me to close multiple deals through the program. Coach Jeff is an amazing coach. He holds me accountable. In addition to that, he brings positive energy to the meetings and also make sure that I am setting goals. I recommend this program to any agent that is struggling in their real estate career and looking to go to the next level. The TREM program will really help you to get there. So thank you, Coach Jeff. Thank you for being amazing. And I look forward to my next level in TREM.
So handling offers, we're going to talk to them about how are we going to handle the offer. Mr. Seller, we're kind of in a market right now where offers are kind of coming like crazy, you know? I know we're gonna list your property at 500,000, but Miss Miller, I must warn you today, we're gonna get offers at 500. We're gonna get offers at 600. We're gonna get offers at 625. But one of the best things that you have the control of as the homeowner is deciding on do you move forward with that offer or do you not? So this is what I'm going to do every single offer that comes in. I'm going to take the time to actually break down the offer to you so you can truly understand what are the pros and cons of it. We're going to get a lot of offers from investors. We're going to get a lot of offers from wholesalers. We're going to get assignability opportunities that come to us. And I want to be able to not have you be pressured in making a decision, but truly understand. And one of the one things that I like to always do when I meet with my customers is I always like to let them know at the end of the transaction of us working together, you're almost going to be a mini real estate agent. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get back on Boom on BombBomb. I'm going to get back on Zoom. I'm going to get back on Loom. I'm going to get back on maybe my phone and I'm going to go through the offer with them, okay? And what does that look like? It looks like, hey, John, just got an offer. What I want to do is I want to take the time to break it down to you. I understand we're listed at 650. Jessica and her realtor has submitted an offer for 625. They're putting down a deposit of $2,500. They're asking for a 15-day due diligence period. They're asking for a right to cancel period of 10 days. They're asking to close December 15th. I've highlighted the opportunities for you right here. Please go ahead and review it and give me a call when you're ready to discuss it. Okay. So like that, I'm now giving them the opportunity to now digest what is happening with these offers that we're getting. Yes, Jeff, we're listed at 900. One offers at 875, one offers at 850, one offers at 830. I went ahead and I sent the offer to them and I allowed them the opportunity to decide what is next. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the methods that have been working with me. As we understand, we're in a slow market right now and things are not happening I literally thought I had 5 closings this month, and I actually had 7. Listing agent on every single deal. I don't work with buyers. I don't show properties. I have one that's closing tomorrow. We got lucky. And I have one that closed the other day. I have one that's actually supposed to close on Friday. It's actually going to close on September 1st now. Okay. These are the methods that I am using throughout the listings that I have to take the stress off of myself, build a rapport with the seller, and let them know that we are in this together. Okay. The reason you see testimonials and client reviews, this is what you're going to make sure that you review with your customers at the time that you're at the appointment with them. You're going to create scenarios. Okay. So, what is a scenario? I got a seller that's getting divorced. He needs to sell. He needs to relocate. He wants an as is contract. Okay. I went ahead and I sold his home. I just happened to meet someone else that's in the same situation. Oh my gosh, you actually remind me of Bob. Bob was in the same scenario as you. And I'm so happy that Bob was able to give me a 5-star review because Bob was actually getting divorced and he needed to relocate to Ocala, Florida. And I was able to do that by doing exactly this, Tim. I was able to do this, Tim, by putting Bob's house on the market for this amount of money, getting this amount as a deposit, doing the showings on this amount a day, this amount of way. And guess what? These were the results. I want to pull the seller into real life scenarios of what's happening right now in this real estate market. I want to let them know that they're battling the same thing that everyone else is battling. They want 900 for their house, but it's only selling at 800. I want to make sure that they're as realistic as there possibly can be. Okay. Know your client in advance. How do you cover the commission? We're still collecting 3.5%, 4% on our side. We, as me, my team, my staff, are still collecting 3.5% and 4% on our side because we're explaining to the customer the opportunities of what they can get, what they cannot get, what market are we in, what are the expectation. I believe no one should be cutting their commission right now because you're doing more work than you ever done before to sell a property. If you agree with me, drop a 7 in the room. If you agree that you're working more now than you've ever worked before. So why are we discounting our commission at the hardest time that we need to do more marketing? We need to do more open houses. We need to host more phone calls. We need to do more photo shoots, more videography. Why are we discounting our commission now that we got to work more? When you call the attorney and you're on the phone with him longer, your billable hours just went from 250 an hour to 350 an hour because you called him without a scheduled appointment. Now he had to stop doing what he was doing, which was playing golf probably to answer your call. So we have to position ourselves that we are the experts in the field and we demand what we demand because we deserve it. So what does that look like? Does it look like we're going to be doing staging? Okay. Staging comes in 3 types of ways. Staging comes where you can pay for it by upping the commission. Staging comes where you can offer it within the commission package that you present. It can come in the sellers paying for it, or it can even come where you pay for it now and the sellers pay you back in the back end. That's a bonus. Okay, the sellers pay you back in the back end. Homes right now that are staged, that are renovated, that look good, have great inspection reports, are homes that are selling for top dollar. So what are we going to do? We're going to push staging right now. You got to push staging. So do you have a staging company in your back pocket? If not, you need to go find one. You need to jump on LinkedIn. You need to jump on Facebook and go find a staging company and create a package. John, I'm about to give you 15 sellers this month because I do a lot of inventory. And while I know your standard fee is 2,500 flat rate, $500 a month, I want you to come in, every single seller. We're going to stage their home. We're going to include it in the price. I'm going to include it in my commission. The seller's going to pay you. And what we're going to do is we're going to discount it for $2,000 and we're going to call it the Jeff package. And we're going to stage every single home. Okay. Because that's what's going to help us to move the properties. We're going to include video into our promotions now, because videos, we can run ads on videos. We can put videos on Google. We can run the ads through Facebook, through Instagram. Okay. We're going to do videos on every single one of our listings. What are we going to do? We're going to go find somebody that does videos. And guess what? Create a package once again. The package needs to come from both ways: the package that I present to the seller and the package that I have with the photographer, the videographer, or the stager. Okay? Understand your numbers before you meet with the seller. If I list their property at this price, if I list their property at that price, if I list their property at this price, what is the walk away? What do my numbers look like? What do my numbers look like? What is my walk away? Okay, what is their seller's bottom line? Understanding what is their bottom line. Ms. Seller, I understand that we're going to be meeting today at 4 o'clock. As a professional, I always like to get ready for my appointments. In preparation for that, I have a couple of questions to ask you. Is now a good time, or should we schedule a call later on? I want to know, what is the bottom line? What is the number that you absolutely will not sell below? And imagine if you know that this is a hot tamale. It's going to sell like right away, man. Maybe it's an opportunity where you can possibly discount the commission because you know that you're going to put it on the market and it's going to sell right away and it's a great product. And maybe we don't need to sell it staged. Maybe we need to sell it blank. Like, we need to sell it empty, 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 empty. With that being said, we definitely want to make sure that we invest into some virtual staging companies as well. We want to make sure that that's a part of our presentation as well, virtual staging companies, because sometimes the sellers are living in the house and we got to take everything out. And how do we actually take everything out? We got to go ahead and we got to take the photos, send it to the staging company and say, hey, can you make this a blank canvas for me, please? But guess what? $25 every photo, $30 every photo. We're using AI to do stuff nowadays. We're drawing in pools. We're putting in baseboards. We're doing so many things with AI right now. It's now part of our package. It's now part of the marketing that we're doing. I literally put a house on the market and we redid every single room. We added doors where doors weren't, and we just like amazed the seller. Okay. Go through the listing agreement, regardless if they want to sign with you or they don't want to sign with you. Go through the listing agreement. Okay. What does that mean? That means, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I understand that you may be prepared to sign today. You may not be prepared to sign today. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to make sure that you're comfortable with what you're going to be doing with me. Okay. Go through the agreement. Rather you meet them in person or on Zoom, go through the agreement, have the agreement broken down. If you end up not getting to the agreement, go back home and do that recap video. That recap video is going to be a recap of everything you guys discuss. You're going to go over the agreement. You're going to go over the terms as far as pricing, nets, commission, staging, painting, roof replacement, AC replacement, whatever that is. Okay? And then you're going to provide the seller an opportunity to decide to work with you. But another thing that we're going to do is we're going to leave that lockbox there. We're going to leave that lockbox there. One of the things that's going to happen is they're going to either say, oh, you left something behind, or they're going to say, you can leave it here and you can come back and pick it up tomorrow when we have our second appointment. Or you can come back and get it later on when the photographer comes or the videographer comes. Or you can go ahead and place it on the door right now because I know you have your painter that's going to be coming. But the reason for us leaving that lockbox there is because we are... Next time. Sorry about that. We are making sure that we're programming the activities of what's happening into their mind. And what is that? That is that I'm your agent. I am going to work with you. I am ready to go to work right now. They may call you and say, oh my gosh, I just noticed you left your lockbox here. Great, I'll be back tomorrow to pick up the agreement and the lockbox. Or they may say, well, while you left it here, you may get to work. Okay? But we have to understand that we're in a market right now where we have to be very transparent, very upfront, very detailed about what's happening. And this is just getting the listing. Now that we have the listing, we have to make sure that we continue to win the listing. And what does that mean is that we need to make sure that we satisfy that seller every 30 days that we continue to stay on the market. Every 30 days. So how do we do that? We stay in front of their face. We continue to give them updates, okay? Every seller should be receiving a weekly email from you. A weekly email from you, just like you did that Loom video 30 days ago. You did that Bomb Bomb video 30 days ago. That seller should be receiving that same email from you. Here's your weekly update. Here is your weekly update of the homes that sold in the area, the homes that went under contract. Just wanted to let you know nothing has pended so far. Everything is still stale. Everyone's still holding. Okay. I told you guys I was going to drop a couple of tools that I use. So I use Loom, I use Box Brownie, I use Google Drive. Everything goes into a Google Drive. And then I use Follow Up Boss as my CRM. So my Google Drive is basically I create a folder for the seller that they have access to, and everything pertaining to the listing of their home, rather it be a listing or a lease, is going into that Google Drive folder and they'll have access to it. Every document goes into there. Every video goes into there. Every comp goes into there. Every notes that's taken in goes into there. Every offer, it goes into there, and they have access to it. I even do a feedback report. So let's say, for example, we've had 15 showings on the home. My feedback report is an Excel sheet that they have access to inside the Google Drive. It says who showed the house, what day they showed the house, what time did they show the house, did they submit an offer or not, and what was the feedback they provided. And all I do is I just continue to update the sheet. Every single time we have a showing, I just update the sheet. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, feedback is very, very important, especially in the market that we're in right now. If an agent shows your listing and you happen to not be actively present, you want to call, you want to text to get that feedback. They don't follow up with you on Tuesday, call them again and text them again on Wednesday. I really would like to get some feedback over back to my owner. She's desperate to hear what's going on. What are the thoughts of the buyers? Would you be so kind to give me some feedback? Okay, that's why it's also imperative that we show our listings as well. Through showing our listings, we can read the buyer, we can understand the buyer, we can ask them certain questions. Okay, I ask people nowadays, what can I expect an offer from you? Can I expect an offer from you guys today? We're gonna go back home and we're gonna think about it. Okay, what are some things that possibly would not have you to purchase this home today? There's some other houses that we want to look at. Okay, great. Was there anything that possibly stood out that you just didn't like? We didn't like that the house didn't have a fence. Okay, great. Maybe what we can do is we can discuss with the owner about possibly putting a fence in the back if you guys decide to buy the house, or maybe giving you guys a credit. Maybe we can discuss that. You find yourself killing so many questions that the buyer's leaving having when you show your own listings and you have conversation about that. Imagine being right there and being able to text your seller and say, hey, we got a guy here that wants the house, but he's like, these carpet floors gotta go. Are you open to changing the carpet floors to wood floors or laminate floors or tile floors? Hey man, listen, I know you're upstairs looking at the house, but I just spoke to the sellers and they said with an offer, they're willing to change the floors. Are you like desperate right now to get results? And results is doing work, like doing work, like doing work. I'm gonna say it again, you know? So recap, I'll open up for questions. Be stressed about your marketing plan. Be thorough about your marketing plan. Prioritize your client's best interests. Okay, they may not be someone that needs to sell right away. They may need to be someone that can leave the house empty right now, go move into another house while you sell this home. They may be someone that you say, hey, let's go ahead and rent the property out, and then we'll sell it in the future. Okay. Want to open it up for any questions for anyone. Anyone that has any questions, you're welcome to drop them in the chat, or you're welcome to unmute yourself or raise your hand. Anyone? Well, that's a good thing then. No questions.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So when you do the I guess preliminary video, how like what is the open rate that you've noticed from those potential sellers?
So if it's someone that I'm meeting with right away, like for example, I booked them right away, they are more prone to opening it if it's someone that I'm meeting with in a couple of days from now. Okay. So one things that I like to do with the people that I'm meeting from a couple of days from now is I want to say, hey, I went ahead and I sent you some information. Just wanted to make sure you were able to see it. They're like, no, I've been inundated with phone calls. Great. Is it okay that I text it over to you before we meet today?
Okay.
Okay. So I text it over to them, hence why it's a link, and it's very important that it's a link because typically it's going through an email. And if it's not, if I can't get them to open it and check it out and read it and see it, then I want to go ahead and text it over to them. And sometimes they still don't open it. But I will tell you, like the majority of people do actually open it, and I'm thrilled that they actually open it because they're able to learn about me. And that's really what the text message says. It says, "Hey, I just sent you over some information about myself and my company that you can definitely take an opportunity to look at before we go out and meet."
Okay, so you're sending them but the marketing material aspect, you're not sending them. You're showing it at the listing appointment.
Yes, yes, yes. We're doing the video to build that rapport, build that relationship. The only thing that I am doing through the video are the comparables.
Okay.
Comparables through the video. Go ahead, next person.
Hi, Jeffrey. It's Janelle. How are you?
I'm great. Glad to have you here.
Good. So I'm just curious about I guess, the order of the listing appointment. So I talk to, brokers all the time, and some people say when they go in for the very first time, they may not be speaking numbers. They may just be talking about the property specific. Their seller may not sign it at the first meeting. They may sign at the second meeting. So I'm just curious about your process when you are approaching a seller at that very first meeting.
So my goal is always, great question, by the way. My goal always is to get a seller to sign the agreement. That appointment is like, that's the make it or break it type of opportunity. But I have had second and third appointments with them where they officially do sign with me. But the first appointment is really that appointment where we're talking about the goals of what their goals are. How soon are they looking to be at their goal? What is the number that will make them get to their goal? Can I get them to that number? What is my fee? What does my marketing plan look like? And then I am asking for the business. I am. I'm asking them for the business right then and there. If there's any way that we can make it work, are you willing to make it a try? And what I do is I'm going into closings with them. And these closings are sometimes, hey, let's try it out for 15 days. Let's try it out for 30 days. Let's go ahead and let's sign the agreement today. If you wake up tomorrow morning and you no longer want to work with me, we'll tear it up. I'm going into objection handling at that time, and sometimes objection handling is commission, sometimes it's time frame of the listing agreement, sometimes it's bargaining. We bargain, okay? For so Jeff, I don't want to pay you 6%, but I want to pay you 4%, or I want to pay you 5%. Then I say, okay, for 4%, 5%, this is what we'll do XYZ, XYZ, you know? Sometimes what I end up doing, I also say, hey, if I'm going to go ahead and discount the commission, one things that I ask you of is an opportunity to earn your business right now here today.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Hmm.
I really do work with the coming soon opportunity as well. So a lot of times people do need to stage their home. So what I've been doing, you guys, which some of you guys may not want to do, is I've been sending the photographer out twice. Mr. Seller, one of the one things that we could do is while you're decluttering your home and you're getting it for photos, I'm gonna send the photographer out or the videographer out, and I'm gonna have them do the exterior. And when the inside of the home is ready, we'll then shoot the interior of the property. So like that, I can already show them that A, I'm invested, B, I'm already starting to work on it. This Mr. Seller, one of the best things that I'm going to do with these photos is I'm going to blast them out to my social media, my email blast. I'm going to do postcards. I'm going to make phone calls. I'm going to let people know that we have your property coming onto the market. So now they're ready. And I identify timelines as well. So like, for example, the gentleman that I met this morning, house is a total mess, you know? It's going to take him more than 30 days to get it together. He told me 30 days, but I said, one of the one things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the exterior photos today. We're going to shoot the drone. We're going to get the backyard, the front of the house. And in 30 days from now, we'll go ahead and shoot the front, given that the house is ready. Okay. Truly make everything a dialogue. You know, a lot of times we want to spend a lot of time speaking on what we're going to do and what we've done in the past and where the market is and stuff like that. And sometimes sellers don't want that, you know. Sometimes sellers don't want open houses. Sometimes they don't want for sale signs. They don't want lock boxes. They don't want showings on their house. So truly make it a dialogue more than like a presentation. Next person. Anyone else? Would there be a replay of this training? I wasn't able to catch the beginning. Yeah, we'll send out the replay. We'll send out this video to everyone that registered here today. They'll get the video. I don't mind.
Hi, my name is Joseph Johnson. I've been in the real estate business for about 5 years now. I'm also a coaching client for Jeffrey Torielon and Dr. Kara Lewis. And I have to tell you this, that I'm very happy with everything that I have learned so far. They are available to ask questions. We role play. Um, they give you tools, things that I didn't even think about before. It's like, oh, why didn't I think of that? And the tools that they give you can easily implement into your business and help your business grow. They really know how to explain things so that you can understand, and it's just been an outstanding experience so far. I mean, 5 stars for this coaching program, and if you're thinking about investing in yourself or getting some coaching, I highly recommend Jeffrey Corelon and Dr. Kara Lewis.
All right, y'all. So I got something else that's great for you guys before we end here today. And we're right on the head, so I love it. Is that I'm doing a part 2 for this segment, and I need your support on this. I really do need your support. Okay. If you found value in what took place here today, Dr. Karen and I don't know if she's still on here, has decided to do a 5-day event with you guys. Okay. It's for our brokers, it's for our realtors, it's for our lenders, it's for our title reps, whomever's in the space of real estate or just sales, period. And they want to close more transactions. I'm doing a 5-day training session from September 8th through September 12th. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, just like it was today, but 5 days dissecting everything from prospecting to scripts to role playing to presenting the house to staging the properties to my vendors list to how to dominate into an area and really just providing the opportunity to share with you all the stuff that I've learned, the stuff that I continue to implement, the stuff that I used to do, and the stuff that I'm doing now, and the stuff that has me the opportunity to win more deals. I think also what we're able to do here within this 5 days is share ideas. Like maybe you guys are doing something that I'm not doing just yet, and I can now implement it, and you can now share it with someone else that doesn't know. So this 5-day segment is broken down into winning the appointment, leadership, branding, balancing your life in real estate, and also AI. And I'm excited that I brought on some guest speakers with me as well. I brought on some guest speaker, for example, Tanisha Williams out of South Florida, Leston out of Texas, Dr. Karen Lewis out of Florida, and then some other people that are really like putting numbers on the board each and every single day. They're putting numbers on the board. And I decided to bring them a part of this segment with us so that we can really just not just help our agents and help our communities, but to help people that really want to win as we move into 2026. So we have 2 prices for you guys. You don't have to decide today, but I highly recommend that you do. You know, action takers are results given people. Action takers are results given people. So what we have here today is we have a general admission ticket. Okay. The general admission ticket is $97 a month. I mean, $97, $97. Our coaching program is $97 a month, is $97. And then we have a VIP. A VIP is going to include a Saturday Q&A with all 6 of my guest speakers, where you're going to be able to just ask them any questions that you have, spend the hour with them, and truly understand how are they closing 14, 15 deals a month, or even getting 3, 5, 6 listings a month. You know what I mean? So that's going to be our bonus for our VIP. Plus, our VIP people are also going to have an opportunity to log on at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for another Q&A with the guest speaker of that day, but also an intimate opportunity to say, hey, Jeff, I'm meeting a seller and this is what's going on. Hey, Jeff, I'm working on this. Hey, Tanisha, I'm working on that. Hey, Dr. Karen, I'm working on this. Hey, Lee Stacks, I'm working on that. And the other 3 speakers that I have that's coming on. Okay. So I think that if you want my scripts, you want my tools, you want to know, like, what do I do on a daily basis to convert people and get them to sign? This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to tap in. Even our coaching students are going to be tapping into this right here, because I think this is what a lot of people are missing. A lot of people don't understand they're in sales. And that's the one thing about real estate, is that we're in sales, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of if we like it or not. We're in sales. You're going to get access to my vendors list. You're going to get access to all my scripts. I did a training earlier this evening, where I shared with them how to go out and get your title companies, your lenders, your attorneys. I'm a part of 3 divorce attorneys lists. 3 divorce attorneys. So not only do I prospect for listings, I get a lot of referrals. So what do I mean about 3 divorce attorneys? Is that typically when a spouse is getting divorced from their partner, and they're not able to come to terms on who the realtor will be, the attorney that's representing them typically has to give 3 names. So I'm actually active on that list. Hence why I'd say 4 of my listings this last month or this month have been all divorcees, is because I'm a part of that list. I'm going to show you guys on how to get a part of that list, how to get paid by your title company and your lenders, and following RESPA's laws, but truly using them to brand your business. Like, I did a broker's open the other day, valet, sushi, and I didn't spend anything. The camera guy, I spent $0, and what happens is a lot of times we don't know how to approach people. We don't know how to say, hey, let's work on this together, and you'll eat, I'll eat, we'll all eat, but this is your part to play in, and this is going to be my part to play in, you know? And then a lot of times people don't even know how to put a listing presentation together. What does your listing presentation look like, Jeff? So I'm going to be able to show you guys that. Our VIP segment does come for a done for you listing presentation. Okay. It's going to be my listing kit, every single page done for you, ready to go. You just print it, you just send it off to your seller. We're going to tailor it to your logo, your colors, your photos, all within our VIP package. So that's what I have for you guys here today. There's another slide. No, that is our last slide. Okay. So once again, 5 days in the evening, because we're actively in our business throughout the day. And if you follow me on any social media platform, like, I really do this. Like, I really go to appointments. I really prospect. I really talk to sellers. I'm really in front of people's faces. And I'm really closing transactions, not just someone that is on here just to train. And I've been out of business for the last 5, 10 years. You know what I mean? So the speakers that we're going to be bringing on are people that are notable as well. You can definitely Google them. They are on the website. So if any of you guys scan the QR code, you'll be able to see who the speakers are. You'll be able to research them. And these are people that are part of my circle. Like, I literally just picked up the phone and said, hey, I'm doing an event. Can you be a part of it? And they said, yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I want to open this up for you guys. If you're interested, maybe you want to come in at the general price, and you want to say, hey, let me come test it out. Let me see what it's about. Then I want to upgrade to VIP. You're definitely welcome to do that. If you are interested in signing up, you're welcome to stay with us. If you have any questions for me, if you're not capable of doing it right now, and you're going to think about it, you're going to ponder, and you're going to return back, then I definitely thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for spending the evening with me, and best wishes for the rest of 2025. Okay. So for those of you guys that are staying, that are signing up, if you have any questions, anything's going on the app, if you have any troubleshooting issues that you have, let me know. I will be on here. I'll be on here with you guys as you guys sign up. If you gone ahead and sign up, just write done in the chat so I can see where we are. I can pull the room. You know, if you gone ahead and signed up, just hit done in the chat so I can pull the room and see where we are. You're welcome, Roderick. If you're a part of our coaching program, if you're part of our coaching program already, there's a discount code, 20% off discount code. The word is TREM. It's going to ask you for a discount code. If you're a part of my coaching program already, you do get 20% off. Use the keyword TREM. Use the keyword TREM for 20% off if you're here right now and you're a part of the coaching program. Okay. If you're part of the coaching program already, use the keyword TREM to sign up. Let me know when you're done. You can most definitely register tomorrow. Take a picture of the slide. Take a picture of the slide. I think we're taking like 25 people in the program. We're gonna take like 25 people in the program. So just make sure you register tomorrow before it gets sold out. But I am going to carry through everything that I listed to you guys earlier today. We have financing available as well. If you go to the website, it's going to ask you if you want to finance. So there's financing available on the site as well. You know, you can use Afterpay. You can use any of those that are there. It gives you the opportunity to finance. You can finance at the $297 level, or you can finance at the $97 level. Okay. Just write done when you're done registering so we can poll the room, please. If you're interested in I would take financing. Financing $97 at 3 payments or 4 payments, whatever that breakdown is. That's a given right there. That's a given right there. Comment done in the room when you're done registering. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask me those questions. Yep, you got Afterpay, you got Klarna, you got Amazon Pay, you got Cash App Pay, all on there. If you do need to finance, there's a financing option on there for you. If you do need to finance, there's a financing option on there for you. We're going to have a party also. We're going to have a party Sunday before the event. It's going to be a Zoom party before the event, a wind down Sunday where we're going to be able to bring our questions, bring what are we looking at out of the events. We're going to be able to bring that all to the Zoom on Sunday before the event. Okay. Comment done when you've grabbed your ticket already. Maybe you have some questions for me. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. You can ask your questions. You can ask your questions. I'll put the link in the chat also. Make it a little bit easier for you guys. I will put the link. Here's the link for those of you guys that are interested in signing up. Any questions from anyone? Any questions from anyone? Thank you for the follows on social media too. Any questions? iPhone, Ingrid, Tashka. Any questions from anyone? All right. Well, I thank you guys for being here. We're going to go ahead and send out the information to everyone that registered. So just make sure you registered on the link. Make sure you registered on the link, and we will get the recording out to you. Y'all make it a great night. Take care.